Baby Beard Media. Shut up and take my podcast.
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 Shut up
and take my podcast.
Stereotypes. The foreigner. My customs are different. Upwards inflections. Australian.
Your beer belly is so big, your door doesn't even close, and that doesn't even make sense.
The sentence ends well with, I got advice from Nixon.
We're a G-rated.
This is a problem. Are we? Futurama podcast.
Trademark. License. Copyright.
Don't say those words.
Shut up and take my podcast.
Hello. I'm Phil.
Hello.
You felt? Oh, I'm Phil.
I'm Phil.
And I'm
That's what happens when my deaf ears to you on the right hand side. I said from the beginning, no, I want to be in the middle so I can hear everything. No, I just hear half of it.
Yeah.
And I am Sean. And welcome everybody to Shut Up and Take My Podcast. You know what? This is the perfect opportunity for those of you who aren't familiar with Futurama. We've actually got a special guest here today that can explain to you what
he's so knowledgeable.
It's been a long time coming. Hey Siri, what is Futurama?
I found an entry about Futurama on Wikipedia. Shall I read it to you?
Yes.
Futurama is an American animated science fiction sitcom created by Matt Groening for the Fox Broadcasting Company. The series follows the adventures of a late 20th century New York City pizza delivery boy, Philip J. Fry, who, after being unwittingly cryogenically frozen for 1,000 years, finds employment at Planet Express, an interplanetary delivery company in the retro-futuristic 31st century.
Thank you for that.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Are you still with us?
That was accurate, if a bit dispassionate.
Yes.
Matt Groening's
Groening.
Futurama.
Yeah. Futurama boy? Question mark? Boy? Boy?
Who?
I also have British Mail Siri, which has been a delight.
Yes.
He's lovely.
It's condescending.
I would like it if they could do Siri with like some accents, like trying to do actors' voices.
Imagine Zap Brannigan as
Zach
Siri.
Brannigan, that'd be good.
Well,
Or
what would
Bender,
you-
Bender, and like they could put in his personality.
So in the UK for a while there was I don't know if they still do it, but there was a text to speech service where you could text a landline number and then someone, if you picked up the phone, it would ring the phone and then read the text out. And they had different celebrities on it, and one person they had for a while was Tom Baker.
Oh really?
The Doctor Who.
Oh, I think you might.
So yeah, he would read out your texts if you
that's-
text them to a
that's
landline. I don't know if they
brilliant.
still do it. It was BT service, but it was really cool. But I wish they did it for more things. So Siri read by Tom Baker or
That'd be great.
Stephen Fry or any of those great
I mean,
voices.
we'll do it.
We'll
Send
do
your-
it.
Send it to us, and we're happy to oblige.
Because we never stuff up weird words or mispronounce things, or
We're very fluid.
we're very fluent.
Tamika the other day was listening to an episode a while back, clone of my own, and I said Neil deGrasse Tyson.
That's wrong.
Yeah, it's just Neil deGrasse Tyson. I think I'm thinking of Degrassi High.
Yeah.
I love Degrassi.
We were talking about this as well. When you podcast for a while, you start to get a knowledge of your own habits a lot.
Yeah.
And one of Sean's habits that we started to notice is his use of malapropisms. And a malapropism is where you say a word that sounds quite like the word you want to use,
But it's very much not.
Very
No.
much not that word.
What's
So-
the recent one I did? Because
I can't remember any
Yeah.
recent examples. I wish I could remember an example. It would be much more fun. But I would invite our listeners to point out any malapropisms.
It'll be such an
Sure.
injunction when it comes up.
Yeah, that's
There you
an
go.
Please
intentional
email us
one,
if we have any.
babybeardmedia@gmail.com.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are one day removed from our Mother's Day.
We are, indeed. That happened yesterday.
So this is the second time that's happened. We watched the Valentine's Day episode on Valentine's Day. So I hope you're all nice to your mothers. But if not,
They deserve it. They pushed you out of their birth canals. So
Yes.
yeah, well, get your mother and watch the following episode and then listen to this podcast together. Because in America, it should, well, you're going to get this like a month or so late. But you know what? If you didn't do
have
anything
a
for
different
Mother's
day.
Day,
Look, every day should be Mother's Day.
Aww.
Mother's Year,
Mother's year.
Mother's Life.
Mother's life. You should be thankful.
Season 2, Episode 14, Mother's Day. So the director for this episode was Brian Sheasley, back from Crustacean in Love, and the writer is Lewis Morton, back from Raging Bender.
Those are good episodes. Both
Yeah.
of them. Both of them good episodes.
Lewis is also
For
one of the
good
only
writing.
writers that comes back from the original run into the newer episodes later.
Wow, they changed the writer's room that much.
Quite a lot. I just think a lot of people didn't return after the hiatus. They had
yeah.
already gone on to other things by that
That's
time.
fair
So
enough.
you get a whole bunch of
It's
writers.
the Firefly phenomenon, right? It's like if they ever tried to make Firefly again,
Who would you get?
Yeah.
how would you get everyone back together. It's
Yeah.
too far removed.
It's
right?
7 people's schedules. No, 8 people's now because Ron Glass has passed away, but that's about it.
And if you wanted to get, some of the same showrunners and crew, it'd be nearly impossible, right?
Joss Whedon writing for Futurama.
Yes, please.
I'd be on top of all that.
No,
Yeah, you do all the
okay,
research.
it's a crossover. Basically, the Firefly crew are dead. They have to hire the Planet Express crew.
It's a crossover.
It's an animation crossover episode.
Yeah, I love it.
That'd be great. I'd
There's
watch
lots
that.
of weird crossovers happening in comic books these days, so I'm
Yeah.
sure it could happen.
Hell, there's a Doctor Who Next Gen one, so why not Futurama
Yeah, there
Firefly?
totally is. Yeah.
Firefly.
Firefly.
Yes. Yeah, you're relinquishing the
Fox.
rights just so it'll get made.
Yeah.
For Firefly?
Okay, sure.
They make it.
Anyway.
You'll find out the history of who owns what in Futurama when they come back after the reboot because they make a bunch of jokes about it. There's the box company.
Yeah.
owns the
Really?
and now they're on a more central channel. And Amy goes, "I get it." It's really good.
Who wants to run down the plot of Mother's Day?
Turns out to be Mother's Day in the universe of Futurama, but it's not what you think. It isn't celebrating everyone's mother. It's celebrating the mother of all robots.
The mother.
The mother,
The one and
Mom
only.
of Mom's friendly robot company, who has all the robots give her lavish gifts every Mother's Day, but being bitter and tormented over her breakup with none other than Hubert Hubert Farnsworth, she has turned bitter and makes all the robots rebel and overthrow society. So her 3 wet lettuce sons decide to try and get them back together to end the robot uprising and save the world.
And they will.
They will, after some
Very gratuitous Farnsworth sex scenes and more of Farnsworth that I really want to see. I just need right off the jiggling of Farnsworth and Mum.
Oh, there's a
And
lot
their
of
skin.
age. They really overdo how wrinkly they are, don't they?
Yeah. I love it when they're by the fire and all, there's that shadowing from the firelight, the silhouettes on
It
their
makes
face.
their crevices
Yeah,
deeper.
yeah.
I mean, what? They're 10 years apart. Mum is 150 and Farnsworth is lying and he's actually 160.
Or when they do that flashback to their breakup, which was 70 years ago, they're both really old.
Oh, yeah.
What does that make them? That makes him 80.
Yes,
Yes.
when they met, when they broke up.
She looked pretty young though.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
looking good.
That looks good for
Yeah.
when
It's for
we
70.
people like us die.
Yeah. I'm assuming surgery. It's probably really
I guess
good.
just aging just works differently 1,000 years in the future,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So what do we think, guys?
This is probably one of my favorite episodes.
I'm not sure I've seen this episode before.
Really?
Weirdly, I've seen a lot of Futurama, but I don't recall this episode at all.
I've seen it so much, but like for some reason, I've always thought it was the season finale. I don't know why. In my brain, maybe
It feels quite like a big
because it
epic
seems
finale.
like a real epic. Like the
And you know
robots are
what?
taking over the world.
It's not going to surprise me if it is in the broadcast order, not the production order.
Yeah,
this
maybe.
whole thing
Yeah.
we're having. So
because maybe I originally viewed it at the end of a season, like the
Right,
end of a
yeah.
showing, when it used to be on Channel 10.
and they're like, this is a good one to end the season.
This is a
on.
very good one. Like the robots are uprising, they're doing for Mom. We get great like Bender stuff, but we also get lots of Farnsworth stuff, and he has to have sex with Mom, and it's just so gross and funny, and it just
it's so gross, but you can't not look.
Oh, and they're actually really sweet, and it's nice to see a
Yeah.
loving side of
yeah,
Farnsworth, like a really
loving
soft
and bitter.
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
sweet and sour.
It's season 1 and season 2 Farnsworth rolled into one
Yeah.
for an episode.
I love him as like an attempted Lothario as well, where he's like, these magic fingers can still do their thing, and they all
Cracks his
display
fingers
everywhere.
apart.
Oh, Farnsworth cracks his fingers like so.
Just like that.
And he breaks at least 7
One
or
of them
8 of
is
his
like in a
fingers.
spiral.
Yeah,
It's all
well,
swirled
yeah.
up.
Makes me think of, the guy with the longest fingernails in the world. They just keep curling over. That's what his
Oh,
fingers
yeah.
look like. It's just, good.
And just the use of his lines in this, catchphrases.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Oh my. Good news, everyone. The TV has some bad news.
Yeah.
Violent media, that's a good joke.
Violent
I
media.
blame them on violent media, and then the TV
starts
attacks
kicking
them.
Yeah, it's great. Just this whole like the world's going to hell, and
I love
like
that everything's a robot.
yeah, everything's a robot. It reminds me from the Simpsons episode when like everything, it's like the Y2K bug. The toaster's going crazy. Even the milk's got holes in it because it had a computer
Because of
chip.
Y2K.
Yeah,
But the lampshade. The
that's like,
lampshade
it's
is not a robot.
I think it's tricking you.
And we get the running gag of Amy's gullibility as
Yeah.
well when the incinerator, which I guess is what they called it in Australia, food processor, the waste disposal,
Yeah,
The
unit.
waste disposal unit.
yeah,
there you go.
which they call an incinerator here in Australia.
Incinerator.
Incinerator, yeah, it's one of
I've
the,
never
it's-
seen a
it's-
household with one.
It's a,
Bless you.
it's a brand, yeah. I think they're just horrifically dangerous.
Yeah, but it's like if you want to lose a finger, you have one.
Go
of those
get
in your
one.
house.
Get one installed.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
I'm pretty sure one of my old flatmates had one, but yeah, with the it convinces her there is a shiny diamond ring inside. She's going for it.
He's a robot that he knows he can't go anywhere. He has to lure them in.
Yes, and his little rubber guard flaps.
guard flaps are
talk.
talking.
It's so
What's
cute.
Amy's line? Fool me 7 times, shame on me. No, shame on you. Fool me 8 or more times. Farnsworth reacts like, no, you moron.
But even there's so many like great little character things, and then like brah,
The bra. Yeah, keep it down, bra.
keep it down. He just doesn't want to say the word brah.
Brah.
Or Bender's gift card sidekick, the comrade.
Greeting card.
Yeah, comrade greeting card.
What's her name?
We must break off the shackles.
Nicole St. John, and that's the only voice acting credit she has anywhere ever.
Wow.
Really?
She had her debut as the greeting card, did 2 more characters on Futurama, and then just never did a voice ever again.
Oh.
She's never been herself as a live action performer? Wow, I mean, she's not bad.
No,
she does
she's-
the part fine. Like
I don't know if
it's
she
a
has
cute
any
voice.
live action. I didn't look up her IMDb, but as far as voice acting is concerned, that's all she ever did.
I wonder if she's just like a friend or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Potentially.
Because she gets a little extra bit at the end after the credits roll where
Yeah.
she recites the message on her own card. And maybe that's like a little thank you to her for coming on and doing the show, perhaps.
It's like, almost like an equivalent when they say, like, this was a tribute to this person for whatever reason. It's like, what you would assume that here's a little extra thing, because it didn't add anything to the episode. It wasn't a stinger.
No.
It had already been said in the episode. And Bender's, it's just a card sitting on Bender, and Bender's not moving at all. It's just animate the card. It's simply just for that reason.
Yeah, so I figured that maybe she's like a fan or a friend, and she always wanted to be on the show or something. And they're like, here, have this cameo as a violently Leninist card.
Yeah.
Bender straight up murders her.
Oh, I love that bit so good. When he
Bender's
finds
a
out,
murderer.
when he finds out there'll be no liquor in the new society, he just tears up the cutest character. Das Vidania.
So brutal.
Oh, it's nasty.
There is some brutality in this episode. Tiny
Tinny Tim.
Tinny Tim.
Oh, with the Crushinator.
The Crushinator destroys him.
So we're in Mum's
it the
corporation. Yeah,
Yeah,
Crushinator.
Crushinator. From the moon?
Ma.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So we're in Mum's corporation, and all the robots are coming to
Pay tribute.
pay tribute
Yeah.
and give their presents. It's a conveyor belt, and Tinny Tim has spent all his money, saved up all his money all year for this one lovely little. What was it? It
It's
was
a statue of
Statue
Mom.
of
statue of
Mom,
Mum,
yeah.
and he's about to place it
No,
on.
it goes on. It goes along the conveyor belt. Bender crushes it with his many gifts.
Yeah.
And then the Crushinator destroys him by
Just runs
crushing
him over.
Runs him over. And he's just dead. He's in pieces.
Yeah, they don't even kind of sort of bring him back. It's just like crunch.
No.
I'm
I feel
sure
like,
he's back
does someone
later.
fix him, or are there just many Tinny Tims?
Well, the only reason he must get fixed because this time his crutch and his foot were on the other side.
Oh, were they really?
I'm
Yeah.
going to think maybe it's a different
Continuity
Tinny
error.
Tim.
They had to flip it for composition, apparently.
Right.
Just to frame the shot. But then it's like, just whatever's
will
needed,
notice.
really. No one's noticed unless you're noticing.
Unless you're a little OCD or just a keen eye.
Yeah.
No, there'll be a conspiracy out there being like, that wasn't the real Tinny
Tinny
Tim. That was his evil half brother,
Tinny Jim.
Tinny Tim.
With an episode like this where you go, all the robots are rebelling and everything's a robot, gives the animators and designers like a real hand in the comedy.
Yeah.
They get to have fun. Like, so when all the robots are rocking up to the Mom's Robot Factory to give their gifts, a bus pulls up and you're thinking, all these robots going to pile out of it.
Yeah.
But the bus just sprouts legs and
Yeah,
walks
walks
in.
in, yeah.
It's really great visual gags. And there are tons of these. Like the Morbo and the news announcer are being held up by their TV cameras. The lights, the traffic lights are going crazy because
Yeah.
they're robots too.
And what was it? Like the guy can't do something, so he goes to commit suicide, but the suicide
The guy
nope.
goes to put his card into the ATM machine.
Yeah,
The
it's like, it's
ATM
mine
on
now,
the screen
yeah.
it says, "It's mine now, buddy." He laments and turns around to go to the suicide machine. It closes its doors.
And he's just so upset he can't kill himself.
One of the small amounts of times that we'll ever see the suicide machine.
Yeah, it comes up
true.
occasionally.
But I do like how they were like, it's like they're trying to take over the world and eliminate humanity, but it's like, you're going to suffer first.
Yeah, they're mean. They're really vindictive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That coffee machine voice is horrible.
Yeah.
So scary.
No cream.
No coffee.
Say
How do you like me now?
Yeah, that's right.
There's also a trash can that throws itself through a shop window.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a nice gag. But it's like the vending machine? It's like, I've got a big thirst for human blood.
I like how they just robotize things just by putting little robot legs on them.
Yeah.
That's all that's needed to make it into a robot.
One of the weirdest references we've had so far, Betamax.
Yeah, it's a little Betamax machine.
Yeah.
Like,
It just says, oh, shush.
Oh, shush.
I didn't realize that VHS had a direct
Oh,
competitor.
the format wars.
The
Yeah.
format wars. So it was Betamax versus, and it was only Betamax only stopped producing last year. They just
really?
they was doing it as a retro item pretty much. But they finally
okay.
ceased it.
It's like when you say like format wars, there's a regular show episode where it actually has the format wars,
Like as a physical war.
as a physical war, like Laserdisc, VHS, and like they all have to team up to stop Blu-ray, like Wi-Fi and everything.
So as in
And then-
all the ones that lost, going
yeah,
up against the winners.
like the old ones are like actual physical copies and like entities and stuff, and they have to fight these like newer models,
which are all like
Blu-ray.
beams.
like they're these better things, and it's like you are the laser master and stuff, and like
It's like the Expendables, but,
basically
but for formats.
yeah, for formats basically.
Yeah, but it's really common throughout kind of development of media technologies.
Yeah.
That these two new formats all come out concurrently. I mean, I had a mini disc player which did not take off.
mini disc did not.
They're sort of like VHSs for music, where you could just sort of re-record over them a bit more easily than you could with the old cassettes. They were a bit more high fidelity than the old cassettes, but that principle where you could just put things on them, make mixtapes, re-record, but they would also have the digital stuff that the new things had, where you could put information on like track names and stuff that would display on your player.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Sign
they're
me
really
up.
cool, but they died a death.
Oh.
They're a bit clunky. They didn't really take off in the stores. So yeah, it's all the time. But yeah, I don't know sure why Betamax decides to just a Betamax player shows up 1,000 years after it ceased
survived,
production.
though.
Quick question: did you ever have a HD DVD? The HDVDs.
HD DVD, which was the competitor of Blu-ray.
Yeah, which got crushed.
Crushed,
crushed.
yeah.
It's crazy.
No, I didn't.
No.
It's crazy to see like all these different formats. You know, like Star Wars has like so many different editions.
Yeah.
Because there are so many different formats. There are editions that like there's like a Laserdisc one that's not like other ones. You know, because
Because there's a point where they change some
yeah,
things,
because they
but not
change
other
little things, but then not on the other things. Because as George Lucas is making alterations all through
Yeah.
different formats.
Yeah,
as it
I mean,
goes
there's
along.
a big controversy that you can't. It's really hard to get hold of ones where he hasn't stuffed like horrible CGI in the foreground. Of
Yeah,
certain
it's
shots.
very hard. Yeah.
I mean, try finding one now that has the original Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, no, that's not.
Yeah.
You can't find that.
But people have
That's
done
fine.
people have done restorations, but it's not original. It's like they've taken original footage and special effects, and they've like tried to erase bits and maneuver
Yeah.
around, and then it looks exactly like the original, but it's technically not the original. Because
Get as
it's
close
not off
as
the-
they can to it.
Yeah.
They've used
yeah.
they've used computers to make the original rather than original negative print. Being
Yeah,
restored.
they've had to unmodify the,
Yeah,
the
basically.
annoying stuff that Lucas puts in, where he's like, "Here's a CGI alien in the foreground," which
Yeah, for no
doesn't really add
reason,
anything. I don't like that stuff.
So with the character of Mum, we're talking about her being this amazing villain. She's made the list. I couldn't believe this. She's on the Forbes list of the richest fictional characters.
Of course she is.
She's number 4, and they estimated her net worth.
Yeah.
So she
Is it $20
worth
trillion?
$15.7 billion. She's one of the
Seems a
25
bit
largest.
low.
So Mum Corp is one of the 25 largest fictional companies with an estimated revenue stream of $291.8 billion.
Sure.
And she's on Time Magazine's one of the 10 top worst mums ever.
Who's above her? Fiction. You didn't.
I think with Time, I could be wrong, but I think it's just, top 10, but not in order. Just here are 10 of the worst
10
mums
okay.
ever.
No, I don't mean the moms. I mean the moms.
Oh, richer?
Richers. Yeah, who's richer than her? I don't know. I'd love to find out.
Otherwise, I'm thinking worst mum. Maybe.
Can we think of anyone who's fictional owners who are
Tony
got more
Stark?
money? Tony Stark,
Yeah,
maybe.
Batman.
Possibly.
Bruce
But
Wayne,
I
sorry.
feel like
Does
those
that have to be a
really
mom?
shouldn't, because Mom's a friendly robot company makes every robot on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be bigger than Wayne Enterprises.
Oh yes.
For sure, right?
Yeah.
For sure. I mean,
Well, what's the top
she's
company in
on
the
monopoly
world
on
now?
robots.
What is the
And
top
have we
company?
established everything is a robot? Sorry, what?
What's the top company in the world? Like, because it's not
Now,
Apple.
Apple got surpassed recently. It's definitely not Apple.
I think it's a company you don't expect, or something.
Yeah, I mean, Google and things are all up there, but
Yeah.
maybe it's not one of those. I think
Yeah.
it's probably just a finance company. There's a lovely character. We're talking about character moments while we're on Mum. There's a brilliant one where she's all depressed, and one of her signature things is that she slaps her children.
Yeah.
It's just a really half-hearted
It's a sigh and a slap.
sigh and just this
Yeah.
of a slap where she just sort of touches his face.
There's a lot of emotion in this episode. That's where, like, when Bender's like, there's that little stand, and it's like, who's my favorite robot? And then Bender's like, I'm gonna like kick his ass or something. Goes
Yeah.
over there and like turns around, it's a mirror. It's like, it's me, and it's like, no one else look through this mirror.
Yeah, all the robots are programmed to love Mum. So,
Yeah.
like and we talked about this in the last episode as well. It's like this emotional side of Bender where he fans out over Elzar,
Elzar.
and this one where he's just like really keen to love love Mom.
Yeah,
Like,
he's very loving.
He is.
For three people.
For three
Elsa,
things.
Mom, and
Liquor.
Fry. And
I was going to say
he does-
Calculon, but...
I think Fry's got
yeah,
so-
Fry,
it's
I'll give
weird.
him that.
Because, obviously he was initially meant to rob Fry and leave him in a ditch,
That's
if you believe
true.
the pet rube. He's cried over Fry quite a number of times.
Yeah.
Especially just 2 episodes ago when he's going to leave him in the deep south.
Yeah, but they rushed through those emotions pretty quickly.
No, they were real, damn it.
Bender's just going to get through those few tears
Just
and
gonna
move
hit
on.
those beats.
Yeah, hit the beats and move on because we haven't got enough time. Too many fishing gags.
We seem to be on to things we like on this episode. I really like the regression of everybody. Once the robot
Yeah,
uprising happens, everyone
how much-
turns
I
into
feel like
cave
it- I feel
people
like
after
it's
Time
like,
has passed. I feel like it's
half
that
a day.
night.
or something.
Yeah.
It's like that night already.
Yeah, I think so.
Leela's a cave woman.
Yeah, she's like,
Leela, bring fire. No, we're fine.
the professor invents a pointy rock on a stick.
I love it. It's like everything goes to hell, and then Fry's like, it's like I'm from like the 20th century. We know how to handle this. Just open like a can of
Quantum leak.
Quantum leak,
Is that what it's called? Oh, nice.
and like it's like with my trusty Swiss Army knife, and it's just useless.
Although there's one person who loves it.
Zoidberg. It's very
I'm
useful.
useful.
Which I think's his only line in the whole episode.
Where he makes like a gross out sound where they talk about Farnsworth seducing Mom.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh.
Every now and then, like, I remember when Zoidberg's playing straight man against Farnsworth, and now he's grossed out by Farnsworth. It's just, there's a weird relationship going on there.
Yeah.
Supposedly he's Farnsworth's oldest friend, according to one of the episodes.
Ah.
Bender says you can judge a man by the company he keeps, so here's the professor's oldest friend, a grotesque stinking lobster.
That's right.
So apparently they're like, not good friends, but old friends.
Yeah.
They've known each other for a long time.
I was wondering about certain things. Is apparently none of them know what the wheel is.
Yes, because everything hovers.
But
Yeah.
they drove a car in the Flexo episode. That's how he ran over Flexo. They were in a car. The wheels were there.
They weren't looking at the wheels.
So this is why
Clearly
you,
Fry wasn't either.
this is why you can't have Qbert constantly kind of doing,
Yeah.
because the show doesn't have internal consistency.
It would be. That's a
Yeah.
good point to have him. Just be, guys, we were at the museum. Shut up, Cuban.
There's wheels here, here, and here. Like,
I like at the start where basically the two news broadcasters, I can't remember the alien
Mobo
name.
and
Linda.
Morbo, and like
Linda.
they're talking about obviously that sports injury and it's
Blurnsball.
Blurnsball, and it's like humans have weak knees. My species will like that. And I'm like, is he a spy? Like, is he just spying this whole time, waiting for an invasion? Probably.
Is
It's
he?
super obvious spies. isn't
Yeah.
it?
I want to find out if we get to an episode later where you find out what species he is. Are
like
they
to
all
know.
aggressive?
I would say yeah.
Welcome to our planet.
They seem pretty intense.
I feel like that you do find out where he's from at some point, but
Right.
I can't for the life of me
Find
remember
out
where.
a few seasons from now.
A couple of years from now.
We have a couple of those. It's from Linda.
Oh, nervous laughter. And in real news, they are Morbos, vermin of the week.
The third grade.
Yes,
or something.
So at this point in the series, you notice that we get a lot of the robots that we've had up to this point, like Reverend Bod,
The Crushinator comes back.
Russianator, Tim,
Who's the wrestler?
Mars Unit.
No, we
No.
had the lumberjack.
Oh,
Who's
the
just the spiky one that they bring to
The Chain Smoker was
he's
there
a
as well.
Crushinator. Was I will destroy.
So I was
Oh,
right. That's
Destructor.
Destructor,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Destructor.
Question about Destructor: is he still being controlled by? Because otherwise, that's weird.
Yeah.
That he's like.
Maybe they gave him a bit of autonomy. Since,
Yeah, maybe.
Otherwise, just he's in a room giving a present to Mom.
This
underneath.
originates from the heart.
But yeah, at this point, they have about 200 robot models in their arsenal to utilize.
nice.
Wow, they have that many designs
Yeah,
kicking
but
about.
at that point in the series, they've got about 200 to work with, and you'll see pretty much they used all of them for this episode.
Yeah.
Because
that's
when
right.
you've got the scene with Mom proclaiming, "I want to be supreme sorcerer, do my bidding."
Supreme.
Sorcerer? I
What
don't
show
know.
are you watching?
I'm Supreme Overlord of Earth.
I want to be Snoke.
Sorcerer? Anyway, yes, we
Yeah.
have that scene.
All the robots down there were hand drawn. That entire scene was completely hand drawn. Nothing was rendered or nothing was
Right.
anything like that.
Nothing was like kind of copied in from
yeah, it
other
was
things.
painstakingly done.
That's this scene's not shown for very long. It's not like a
Yeah.
lingering shot. Or
No.
anything. Yeah, but it is a good shot of all the many robots. They don't seem to be so. Bender, for instance, is a bending unit, right? So
Yeah.
supposedly there are many bending units. So
There
at
are
least-
two.
There are at least two, right? There's Flexo. You'd think with a robot factory, you'd have many of similar similar robots, but they're all
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
They're
Considering
always all different.
At Mum's Corp, we have a whole set designed to seeing through the eyes of a bender unit. It's only 2.
There's only 2 of them that we know
there's
of.
more
Yeah.
goggles than there are bending units.
So, do you want the one with a beard or without?
Oh, okay. 2 options.
And that's nice for us, the viewer. And again, we don't need internal consistency. It would be
No,
super
no.
boring if all
Yeah.
the robots look the same.
I'm assuming maybe all of them went to the Fear of a Bot planet. They all just went off to that
Well,
planet.
the Fear of a Bot Planet robot is there as well.
Really?
Yeah, he's in there in quite a few lines. He's you see him in the few opening minutes. It's the same robot.
Ah.
It's every robot.
Every robot.
Every robot that's been in this show
does.
shows up.
Every land robot.
Land robots. He's always calling them robots, isn't
Robots.
he?
Oh, a brilliant gag, which is painful to watch when Farnsworth goes up to the cabin, and then there's that one shot of can see his foot slide into the door, and then like they start having a conversation, and you know it's coming, and then she starts slamming the door, and it's like slam, 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 and he just basically-
Over and over and over again.
And when we get the wide shot, so you just see his just arm moving, but he looks calm and collected.
But I just love that one shot of the foot sliding in because you know where it's
You
gonna
know
go.
why it's put in there, yeah.
So secret. He's like, "Hello,"
my
slips
foot
it
in
in.
the door.
What do we think doesn't work in this episode?
I'm biased because I love this episode. So
It's a
I
really
love
good-
it
it's a
all
good
from start
episode,
to
yeah.
finish. I'm sorry.
Do you have
Yeah.
any complaints?
At the moment, no.
No. We're just in a good mood today.
Yeah.
It appears
Good
like.
mood.
It's good lunch.
Yeah, look, the progressive Phil says, hey, we don't need to make fun of geriatric people having sex. Geriatric people aren't gross. Old people sex. It's a cheap shot. I think it's a bit of a cheap shot. Oh,
Yeah.
old people putting their things together are gross. It's old people have sex. It's normal. People do that. People have sex all throughout their lives. And that should be a thing that's fine. I know that's a really boring SJW thing to say,
like,
but
I kind of feel like it might be because they know. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you're watching your granddad have sex is different to an old person having
yeah,
sex.
they do all
Everyone's
very
got that
much.
relationship, so everyone's reacting to. It's like seeing family naked having sex, and you're like, oh, this is.
Yeah, I mean, they do make a lot of jokes about how gracefully her skin hangs down from her neck and how his eyes are a shade of milky white because
Yes.
his cataracts. And Fry walks in and says, there's nobody in here, just some elephant skin frogs. Like, they really hammer home how disgusting old people are.
I get it, but it's kind of funny.
It's fine.
They
it's
are
fine. I'm not-
170
Look, if
years
I-
old.
Yeah, I know. I'm not actually that offended,
If
guys.
I,
I'm
if I get to
struggling
115, I'm still having sex, I'll
Yeah.
cop those insults.
I'm
Yeah,
alive.
for
If I'm
sure.
alive.
You
What's
won't
our-
care if you're getting laid. You'd be like, screw you guys.
Wait, what is our how old do they reckon our generation's going to get to?
What, 90 or 100 or
90?
something as an
I
average?
think the generation below us now has an even higher lifetime expectancy.
Probably constantly getting better with modern medicine.
That'd be great.
No, we won't get it. What's it like? The longest someone's lived is like 115 years.
Yeah.
yeah. No more than that.
No, at least not that I'm aware of. I think
Yeah.
the oldest person currently living is 103.
Yeah, probably.
The oldest person supposedly living died recently, and they were
Yes.
supposedly like 126, but it wasn't
No.
it wasn't proven or anything.
I had. Oh, yeah. I
they were
remember that story.
Indonesian man, and they were supposedly 126, but there's no way to confirm it.
No.
so.
No, you just count the rings.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it might be one of those things where it's a bit more of an Imaginauts kind of topic. There might be a bit of a breakthrough when we're like, oh, we use stem cells or gene repair therapy or something, and there'll be, instead of like it just going up incrementally through benefits to health and diet, it'd just be like, oh yeah, we fixed it. We fixed aging.
And then
it'll just be sudden.
And then it'll be like, everyone, please stop having children.
Please,
Please
yeah. Well, then
stop
we-
having children.
Yeah, we get into a really weird place there where you like
Yeah.
kind of have to stop.
Yeah.
You have to stop them.
It's going to be
otherwise-
like
Well, it's
in
gonna-
time where it's like, this is my daughter who's the same age as me now, but okay.
It's going to be what you sometimes get, which is you can only have one child.
Yeah, like
That's
the one
it.
child policy in
Yeah.
China. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. We're reviewing a TV show,
An animated
TV
show from the year
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah. So,
So what do we think?
Oh, I also have to
guys?
quickly note one of my favorite little visual gags, which is the stapler has rebelled against Hermes, and so it's stapled Hermes to the ground. And a couple of minutes later, he sits up, and he's still got the carpet behind him. And then when we do the reverse shot, you see everyone, and then you just see the carpet silhouette of Hermes with
around
his hair.
his dreadlocks. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
It's actually stapled his dreadlocks to the car. He's remarkably calm about it.
I do like how that it's an instrument of being a bureaucrat that basically got him.
Turns on him in the stapler.
Turns on him. Yeah.
Stapler's a robot as well. It's so unnecessary.
Yeah, everything is. Even
Just needs a chip.
Everything is. The
Needs a chip.
lampshade, the fan.
Like, did the greeting card have legs in it? Do all greeting cards have legs in
The
them?
greeting card did have legs.
Yeah, it had legs, but like,
did it have
do
that
all of
to
them?
begin with?
yeah, do all greeting cards have legs built into
If
it?
they have a little robot chip in them that makes a
Yeah.
noise.
I got a question. Like, okay, all the gifts that Mum receives, right, from the robots, are they gifts that Mum's Friendly Robot Company produces?
I don't know
So
if she
basically,
did-
all the revenue stream goes back to her.
probably.
Is she in
That
the
would be
retail
evil,
market that strictly?
No, I think she's in everything.
Like Mum's Woolworths.
Mum's Woolworths, yeah.
I think it's possibly.
Yeah.
You know, she would just get into manufacturing Mother's Day crap.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
have it brought back to
Yeah,
her.
to make like cheap
What does she
crap.
do with it? The cards are have all the money sucked out
All
of
the
them.
papers made into
Yeah. It gets-
orphan
it gets
toilet
cut
paper,
open.
low-grade
All-
orphan
yeah.
toilet
Orphan
paper.
grade toilet paper.
Yeah.
And
It get cut open, the money gets sucked up, and then the rest of it gets made into orphanage grade.
but the gifts are powdered.
A powder to stop cancer.
Oh, yes.
and apparent.
Yes.
Stop
Apparent.
It's like a wibbly wobbly cure
yes,
cancer.
full soap.
Full soap. Yes, she loves it. There's a really good pun, or not a great pun, but the fan says something when they try and get the.
ha ha ha! Fan beats man.
Yeah, that's the one. The writers must have loved that one. Like, yes,
What
it's going
voice
in.
was that? That was fantastic. It's like, hey, this fan needs a voice. Okay, I'll do this voice.
It's Hank Azaria going, okay. Is there no more bad things in this episode? There's nothing
I
to
enjoyed it
like.
too much, I
It's a
think.
good episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't think there was enough appreciation for Mom.
I do love her dress, by the way.
That disappears into her boots.
Yeah, it just whirs up and goes.
The last time we saw her, she just kind of breaks out of it in one piece, and it just stays there as a
Yes.
hulking mass. And now they've just Tony Stark has come in and
Yeah.
just made like a
Iron
fight.
Mom.
Folds down. right?
Iron Mom.
I don't know about those three wet suns. They're a bit annoying. I'm not sure all their jokes always land.
Not always, but
I'm a
they're
fan of the
necessary in the
eldest.
episode, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, I mean they're a vehicle here
Yeah.
for kind of resolving the plot.
I do love me some triple slap.
Yeah.
The triple slap's pretty good.
And then we do get that, like you mentioned, the soft slap. So that's a good, like, change of...
A little humanizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many more different types of slaps will we get as the series progresses?
Voting. This is versus
How
Hermes
Hermes
requisitioned his groove back.
In
Good
time,
guys.
guys. Beautiful.
Okay, well, I'll just go first. I actually am sticking with Hermes. It's not an episode. This is not an episode I can really fault. Nothing wrong with it. I think if you're pitting the two together, the main thing I have is Ken Keeler and his music.
That music is really helping that episode a lot.
Yeah. And
It's
I just
great to have a number at the end of the show, isn't it?
and just the exploration into Hermes' world.
Yeah.
And the
Even though we did discuss that doesn't spend enough time with Hermes, it's
No.
about Hermes.
Yeah.
But he's kind of absent for a lot of the time that they explore his world.
I didn't really mind that though, because I did like his little away into the mines with the Australian man. I'm still on the Hermes train for the time being.
I'm going to go with this one, this episode.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day gets my vote. It's incredibly fun from start to finish. Bender's so sweet, and like then he gets teamed up, and like I would say maybe led a bit astray by that greeting card. It's like, let's go riot in the street.
It's such a great
Like such a little good little sidekick. Maybe like a little devil on the shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah.
Lots of great stuff like that. Lots of great mom stuff, and it's more world building and world destroying as well.
Yeah.
When everything goes to hell.
First time we get a true insight into Mum Corp.
Yeah,
really.
and like a bit of history between Mom and Farnsworth.
Yeah.
And I really like all that. It's just a really fun episode with some great gags like the foot crushing and
It's another tiebreaker that comes down to Mr. Phillip.
Yeah, I was convinced actually, but I was very torn there, and I'm convinced by your kind of rundown of why you like it, and I agree. Like the greeting card is such a lovely character. I love the cutesy combined with like the really hardcore,
The really
red
revolutionary
lefty,
Conrad, yeah.
bloodthirsty Leninist kind of like bourgeoisie this and bourgeoisie, it's really, and like and just the fun the creators obviously had making this episode,
Yeah.
bringing all the
I
robots
feel like
back,
they had a lot of fun
doing
like, playing
things
all these
with the
characters
robots.
and,
And like you said with Farnsworth, giving him a bit of life. He's not just crazy old guy who introduces the plot plot of the episode. He's a real guy.
Yeah,
He has
and
real
even-
relationships.
Even for
and-
Mom, like she actually has
And he gets
feelings,
laid.
you know.
Yeah, yeah. And
I
he
mean,
gets laid, and it's
Farnsworth,
nice.
Farnsworth
Good on
generally
him.
is that because he's become just a catchphrase for the past couple of episodes, which isn't a bad thing. Is we're used to getting the good news, everyone, so it's, and the absolute manic scientist. So it's good every now and then just to get the insight into who he actually is and why he was the sweet Farnsworth that we saw him in season 1. It's like how you bridge the gap between those two Farnsworth.
And I love that he just wanted to make cute robots.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shot rainbows
Rainbows.
and it's
out of their
it's
eyes.
Like 10 feet, 5 feet. It's like 1
8
feet.
feet.
Doesn't matter. It's like we've got a model that's 16 feet. 16 feet.
How dare you?
And obviously it's the conflict that makes them
Yeah,
make out.
definitely. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
pretty classic cliche though. The more they hate each other, the more they want each
That's
other.
all that stuff, like all that personal stuff mixed in with like this big world event. All the characters coming together,
Stakes
all the
are
gags.
high.
Yeah, everything's
Yeah,
like coming
yeah.
together. It's great, and especially like from start to finish, it's like one story.
Everyone gets a little moment in
Yeah.
the crew. Amy gets
Yeah.
a little joke. Hermes gets a joke.
Zoidberg gets his moment.
Yeah, everyone. It's shared around really well, right? I think it's
Yeah.
good. It wins Mother's Day.
Absolutely can't complain. We get Mother's Day on post Mother's Day. It's good.
Yeah.
Double dose.
So is that your vote?
Yeah.
That's my vote. That's my vote. Mother's
We
Day.
got a
New
Mother's Day
winner!
Woo! Insert applause.
Less applause. That's the last episode.
That's all right. We mentioned it now. It's good.
It's fine.
I reckon for the voices, we should pay tribute to our fallen comrade, the greeting card.
It's like the ambrosia of the human bourgeoisie.
Can we just do no cream, no Garvey?
I love my mommy.
Oh, that's a good one.
Come, comrades, let us take to the streets.
I was like, no, it'll be the kind. But that's just Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
It'll be
Oh,
the
boy.
kind. It'll be the kind with looting and fires. Yeah, I could. It just goes into Mickey. How you going, everybody? Mickey Mouse.
Or just
Maybe
do her,
starting
just
a
do
few
her
fires.
death wail.
Das Vidania.
Das Vidania. Which we tried to ask Siri about. Didn't-
Apparently, it's goodbye, everybody.
Yes,
Um,
it is indeed. There's many ways to say goodbye in Russian, and that is the kind of textbook one. Das Vidania.
Das
Yeah.
Vidania.
Das Vidania.
It's a good way. It's a really powerful way to say goodbye. I'm gonna start using it every day. Someone's on the phone.
Vidania.
Oh, bye. Das Vidania.
Das Vidania.
They're like, my God, am I marked for death?
Is this my John Wick? What's happening?
He's the boogeyman. So what do we have next week?
Oh, next week we
John
have
Wick. I mean, what is it?
next week we have the problem with poplars.
Beautiful.
Yes, of course, of course, of course.
So we get to
I love the
return to
episode.
our Star Trek roots.
Yes.
References. Sci-fi references.
So, you know what? Until then, if you like us, keep listening to us. If you dig what we're slinging your way, subscribe, 5-star reviews, email, whatever you want.
Whatever
Check
you
out
wanna
our
do,
other
right?
podcast.
I mean,
by
if
the
you
way.
don't like us, keep listening to us because you hate yourself.
That's right. We help you no matter what the situation.
We're just helpful guys.
Do what we can. Just you don't even have to listen. Just pause right now and just give that 5-star rating. We won't hold it against you.
In fact, please do that.
I have been Sean,
I'm Phil.
And I'm James.
and we will see you sometime soon.
Bye.
Bye.
love you.
Mommy. Bantery talk, talkery banter, laugh, funny outtakes for the show.
It's the banter hour.
Samuel L. Jackson as a cat.
How is he not cast in The Cat? Was that
Mr. Fuzzy Pants.
no, like the one
Keanu.
with no, not Keanu, the one with Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, that's Mr. Fuzzy Pants.
It's
Okay.
not called that.
In Australia, it is.
Is it?
No.
Yep.
Oh.
So-
what was it actually called?
9 Lives.
9 Lives.
Yeah. Mr. Fuzzy Pants?
Yep, because that's the name of the cat.
that is terrible.
Yeah.
How do you sell a movie called Mr. Fuzzy Pants? I just love it when whenever there's a bad guy, I'll just go back to the Emperor in Star Wars. They talk about him in the first one, you see him in a hologram in the second one, and then you fucking finally see him in Return of the Jedi. Good. Right? It wasn't just like, I'm Snoke. Who the fuck are you?
man?
You're the Emperor.
I'm still
you?
convinced
No.
that he's about a foot tall.
It would be great.
I really hope he's that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if he's just,
He's
a
just
giant.
massive.
I hope he's bigger. Shut up and take my podcast.
You need a different
You've done
one.
that one.
Yeah.
You've
Okay,
done that
but
one.
yeah, but like,
keep-
what do I do? What am I going to do?
Gonna be doing-
Sensual. Do you want it sensual?
You
Shut
done it?
up and take my podcast.
Okay. Do that again.
Oh baby, shut up and take my podcast. That was just I'm just talking deep now.
Any of those will do.
Oh.
Just probably louder, although
Oh,
You know what?
baby, shut up and take my podcast.
And just wait until I'm not talking over
Okay.
you.